under this administration.
But how do you explain this disconnect between macroeconomic success that you're talking about and household hardship that many Nigerians are talking about? The fact is that a crate of eggs that used to cost 600 naira is now several thousand naira. I mean, that's just a fact. There's no way to get around that.
The point I'm making,
and they don't have enough money to afford those things.
Let me be clear. I'm not saying there has been no increase in the cost of living. I've not said so.
Right.
What I'm saying is that, yeah, some people may not have adjusted easily because of the we have just 3 years in office because of the sudden devaluation of the naira and the other policies that we have. But what I'm saying that things are not as dismal as the opposition is saying. If you look at you mentioned macroeconomic indicators, it shows that something is going on right in this country. And you have to get that macroeconomic sector right before you can even talk about micro.
True.
Yeah. And there's nowhere in the world, where reforms that we are implementing, where they have been done, where people don't go through certain pressures, certain pains. That's what we are facing. This president is acutely aware of this problem. And a lot of policies he has been pursuing, they have been directed to reducing the pains that people face. Look, we increased the cost of fuel. It went up. What did this president do? Say, look, there's an alternative, a cheaper one to fossil fuel, and that is CNG.
Hello and welcome to Peter's Studio. Today, we are breaking down one of the most important political conversations in Nigeria right now. The debate over whether the current government is truly improving the lives of ordinary Nigerians. This conversation became more intense after opposition figures questioned President Bola Tinubu's leadership, pointing directly to rising poverty, high living costs, insecurity, and the failure to deliver stable electricity. In response, presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga on Arise TV interview defended the government strongly, insisting that the country is making progress. But the big question remains, progress for what? Because for millions of Nigerians, life today feels harder, not easier. During the interview, Bayo Onanuga repeatedly argued that the government's policies are working. He said states now have more money because of Tinubu's reforms. According to him, governors are building roads, schools, and even security systems because of the increased federal allocations. He challenged critics to leave Abuja and Lagos and go to the states to see what is happening. But here is the issue. Infrastructure projects are important. Of course, yes. Road matters a lot. Schools also matters. But can roads and schools alone reduce hunger? This is where many Nigerians feel the government and the people are speaking two different languages. Because while government officials point at projects, other Nigerians point at empty stomachs, which is very, very true.
There was a day in this Abuja, I went to one station, went to buy and buy gas, and I saw a long queue. I was wondering, what is going on here? Going to about 2 kilometers. What's going on here? They came to buy CNG. I know companies that said, no, they're not going to use diesel-powered generators anymore. They're now on CNG. Well, so that is what the president is doing. He knows petrol is expensive, diesel is expensive. This is an alternative.
Yeah,
and far cheaper.
The president himself has acknowledged that people are suffering. I mean, he said that in his speech, Democracy Day speech.
Yeah.
What bothers a lot of people is not the fact that you're putting in reforms that may be potentially commendable.
We are also, as you are doing reforms, you're also doing palliatives.
What bothers
pushing the effect of what you are doing.
What bothers people is that you're telling them to tighten their belt, whilst a lot of people in high office in government are loosening their belts. So there is that sense that we're not all suffering together, that people, ordinary people, are bearing the brunt, while the lifestyle of those in power has not changed. How do you respond to that?
Well, that is not totally true. Let me just tell you a story. Today, after a meeting, I spoke with the Minister of Finance.
Right.
It will shock people that some ministers, and some of them spoke during the last budget exercise that they didn't receive capital money and so on. Some ministers, some of them have been, because they come into office to serve. Some of them have been using their personal funds to run. Some of them, they're not collecting government money.
What do you mean to run?
Bayo Onanuga also dismissed the idea that poverty is worsening. At one point, he questioned whether anyone had actually done a poll to prove public frustration was rising. He said in the state he visited, he did not see the level of hardship critics were talking about. But hardship is not always visible from a convoy. Poverty is not always obvious at political rallies. To understand poverty, you have to sit with market women, talk to transport workers, speak with young graduates without jobs, ask civil servants whose salaries disappears within 1 week. That is where the real story is. Today, food inflation has changed everything. A bag of rice that used to be manageable for many families is now almost a luxury. A crate of eggs, which the interviewer mentioned, has jumped from hundreds of naira to thousands of naira. Transportation costs have doubled, of course. School fees have increased, of course. Rent has also gone up, of course. Medical bills are becoming unbearable. These are not opposition talking points. This is everyday reality.
3 years ago, President Tinubu said he would ask not to be re-elected if he failed to improve dramatically electricity supply. Can you point to a tangible...
You didn't finish that quote.
No.
Finish it.
He says I didn't finish.
No. That's one of the
Can you point to a tangible improvement that the average Nigerian can feel today when they switch on a light or run a business?
My brother, that's not exactly what he said.
Well, you finished the quote.
Finish the quote. No, you
what's the rest of the quote?
Finish the quote. He said he will give Nigerians power. He said, that's what I'm paraphrasing now.
Yeah.
And he said he also end the era of estimated billing.
Right.
A problem that he has largely solved because his government, it should not be his business, but his government is producing meter, asking the discos to give people free of charge. And he said, if by any chance he has reasons why he cannot give Nigerians adequate power, then they should understand the problems are inherited.
No, but he said don't vote me, don't re-elect me.
No.
I mean, it's very clear. We had the clear.
He didn't say it that way.
Well, he said it that way.
Let me see. If I open my phone, I can tell you exactly what he said.
Actually, we that clip, I'm not sure. I mean, we've played it with one of your spokesmen before, Daniel Bwala. I mean, we'll have to find it because I didn't realize we were going to have an argument over.
I gave him the full quote. I gave Bwala. I said, look, they just fooled you here. The full quote. The president gave some extenuating circumstances that if he's not able to do this because of so and so and so, people should understand.
Right. Well,
and what he did, to show that he meant business, the first thing he did when he came to office, he signed the Electricity Act, which enables states to generate power, to transmit power, to distribute power. He did that.
And that's a good thing.
And some of the states,
definitely a good
some of the states are taking advantage of that. More are going to do so.
That is a good thing.
That will make the electricity sector open, more competitive.
We'll have to see. He did say he would pull it off before seeking re-election.
Has increased. We are not at the level that the president meant it. I can tell you that. What people don't know, and which unfortunately Peter did not know, Peter Obi, when he came and said,
Bayo Onanuga admitted during the interview that yes, there's pain. He acknowledged that the cost of living has increased, but he argued that this pain is part of economic reforms and that Nigerians must endure it because better days are ahead. That sounds familiar, right? Government often asks people to sacrifice for the better future. That is, they tell the ordinary people to tighten their belts while they loosen their belts. But the problem is this: how long should people keep sacrificing? When a parent cannot feed their children, telling them it is temporary does not solve today's hunger. When a worker's salary cannot cover transport to work, future prosperity feels far away. And this is why the poverty debate really matters, because poverty is not just about numbers, it is about survival. Then there's electricity. This was one of the most revealing parts of the interview. The interviewer reminded Bayo Onanuga that President Tinubu had made strong promises about fixing electricity. And many Nigerians remember those promises. Yes, more than 3 years into this administration, blackouts remain common. Businesses still rely heavily on generators. Homes still spend heavily on fuel. Bayo Onanuga defended the government by saying Tinubu signed the Electricity Act, allowing states to generate and distribute power independently. This is indeed a major reform. It opens up the sector. It creates room for competition, and that is a positive step, of course. But reform on paper is not the same as power in the homes. Nigerians do not measure electricity success by policy documents. They measure it by whether their fans work at home, whether their freezers preserve food, whether their businesses can operate without diesel. And for many people, that reality has not improved enough. Leadership is not judged only by policy announcements. It is judged by results. Can people eat? Can they work? Can they afford school fees? Can they survive? Can they keep the lights on? These are the real questions. And until those answers improve, the conversation around poverty and electricity will remain at the center of Nigerians' political future. This is Peter's Studio. What do you think? Is the government laying a strong foundation for the future prosperity of the nation? Or are Nigerians being asked to endure too much for too long? Kindly drop your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching till this time. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so that subsequently, as you upload more of these videos, you will be one of the first to get notified. Thank you very much. Till I come your way next time, do have a great day. Bye.